in today's games, and then another 6 tomorrow to make a total of 10 over the weekend. In all of them, you've got the chance to accumulate points. But reminder, at the end of these 4 games, you want to be in those top 10. So let's see who can start off on the right foot as we hit World's Edge for game 1.
Yeah, and like you said, it is only 4 games, so it is kind of important to keep your eye on that leaderboard. We have mostly been casting the times where it's been 6 games. It gives you a little bit more time. Here, you get through game 1, you're already a quarter of the way finished, so you got to be getting those points early. You can't risk having a bad game.
Sink or swim for a lot of these teams, and suspiciously we have got that northeastern side of the map very oddly empty right now. Yet another game that I see where Geyser is completely uncontested. Geyser's a weird one, but we'll get the chance to talk about it a little bit later, because we've got Illuminate over here at Harvester, and well, they don't have a beacon. This is also a POI that I would say is widely considered weaker, but has had a recent uptick, especially because of its central location.
Exactly. I think that's really the strength of it. It's not about as much the loot that you're getting, it's about the fact that you can then rotate to anywhere that these rings pool. You're not really far off no matter where it goes, and a lot of times you end up in the middle of it anyway. So it's not the worst thing in the world, as we do keep our eyes now on tap strafers in Geyser here. I actually don't believe overall we saw anybody landing together. I saw a couple of teams trying to keep an eye on where teams were landing so that they could then try and land alone. Countdown specifically, I saw did not get grabbed until we saw some other teams not go for it, and then one team dropped late and went back to it specifically.
We finally got a little bit of data right now as well about the ring. The ring, of course, determines so much of Apex. It's natural. If you've played it, you know. And so taking a look at that upper left side of your screen, you can see the map. Transatlantic Gaming have already managed to get the scan on. We're going to be pulling ourselves up north, over by Landslide, and potentially over by Countdown. So I would like to see, in rings like this, that contain quite a bit of open space, some long-range weaponry be picked up, because you are going to be fighting in these very wide open spaces, and the more range you have to deal with and throw damage into people, the better.
Absolutely. This is a really interesting ring because, like you said, it is just very wide open, much earlier than people expect. A lot of times when you get into those fragment zones, you get a lot of teams that will just hide out in the buildings, and you get so many teams in these later rings. We're going to see action early here because these teams don't have many places to hide, and they're going to be seeing each other early. So keep your eyes on who is getting good loot now, because that's going to be very important coming into the next couple of minutes.
Good loot and good position belonging to Sriracha right now, as they are right inside of Countdown and have themselves one of the better spots to play with, especially moving into the mid game. We are getting, I will say, a lot of squads dropping. However, we're already down to 13. You take a look at that upper right of your screen, it is Oi Senpai of Unlucky, or KOP as they started the day, already farming up the kills. And this is somebody that we needed to keep our eyes on, a squad that we need to keep tabs on. We're already on board with Nerf, seeing how they're doing. Those two favorites of mine, at the very least, are going to be the things that I constantly touch back on.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like they are playing towards something like the aggressive style that we kind of expected. They're playing more like it is one of those better lobbies that you'd go up against, and trying to play slow. As Trippin is trying to come into this Countdown area, this has been popularized here in the last couple of minutes, so there should be some fights breaking out as these teams start to collapse in here.
We already know that Sriracha was right ahead of them, and wisely so. Trippin, I believe, having spotted it out. They should have seen somebody. I believe we saw some pigs coming through. So we'll be approaching this slowly, playing methodically, and over down by tree. It seems like we've got a little bit of action breaking out. Illuminate seem to have found some prey escaping from them in towards Lava Siphon, but aren't getting chased too hard. And a big part of that has to do with the higher risk involved with trying to actually pull the trigger on a fight that the other team just doesn't want to take, because they can easily run you into a third party. That's why we see Illuminate playing a little bit more conservatively. It's not about the kills now, it is about getting to the late game.
Absolutely, here as the Valkald is being used just to get some distance into the ring here. As we do see Nerf and Tag already in the area here and looking to maybe start fighting each other if these teams really just kind of converge into this train area. Nerf seems to already be in a fight here.
May very well end up getting third-partied. Inferno, a team that we got to see just last qualifier, had a pretty good run of it at times, but really did struggle in that late game. I'd like to see them today have a little bit of a better chance at success, especially given that the tempo did get away from them last time. They've swapped into an edge-based playstyle, and notice that they're going with an automatic weapon and a shotgun, opting into bubble fights, despite the fact that they're trying to play edge right now. They want to walk up on teams, not give them the chance to respond, and while it'll look good early on, they've got to put pressure on squads early, because the later and later this one gets, the closer together everybody is, the more vulnerable, ironically, that'll make them.
Absolutely. Now, as we do see, Nerf did win their fight, so they are doing okay, and are just trading up here to get some better meds on everybody. Nerf actually looking to be in a really good spot here. Okay, that is okay. It's a boosted loader, that's why.
Trying to distract you, man. Oh no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, wanted to get the overloaded magazine with the reload, but it may have actually, unfortunately, attracted attention here, because Nerf is now going to be in a fight, as we do see Oi Senpai and friends popping in.
We know that Unlucky have been farming the lobby so far, however, they are at an armor disadvantage. Prodigy Ace is currently only on whites right now, could really use a swap, and Nerf are going to be playing this one defensively instantly. Already with that scan, you know what is going on, and Unlucky definitely should be aware. This is a squad that is ready to take them on, ready to take this 3v3 if it is forced, with turns going low. He ends up getting the knock first, finding not one, but two, as Messiah cleans up over the top. Now the shield swaps are in, and Nerf actually have so much more sustain. The Arc Stars don't quite find their mark, but this is huge for Nerf.
Yeah, and there is another team coming in, getting wiped here as Turns is feeling himself popping out there. You can see Wingman Enjoyer sitting up on the top of the building, knows his team is gone, and is just trying to hide as a huge fight is breaking out here.
Illuminate end up getting out. They were trying to third party that, but did get pushed out by Nerf. And honestly, the really quick way in which they took that fight, Unlucky not really paying respect to the fact that there was a squad ready to contest them over here along the side of Harvester. However, this high ground is still incredibly difficult to push up to, especially from Harvester, and Illuminate are the only ones that can really put pressure onto this squad that had come in for that, not third party, but fourth party.
Absolutely, this is a good spot in terms of comparing it to the teams that are in Harvester right now, but it is not the only spot here, because you're looking at a team behind you. Countdown is where this ring is starting to open up, so remember that there is the possibility of getting flanked here, and they need to keep their eyes on their backsides here.
Hostile close.
Station definitely home to several threats, potentially, especially those rotating up from tree, as Tap Strafers, however, seem to have ditched what could have been that high ground, or chosen to avoid the fight entirely, moving themselves out through the landslide tunnel, and interestingly enough, have a really good position. There are at least 3 squads in front of them that can be gate kept, that can be sandwiched, and this high ground specifically that you triggered me is on gives them the chance to farm people up they do. You Triggered Me does get dropped on, but you've still got nades for this area. Tap Strafers can still come out on top.
Gibby ult dropped here, and early dome to try and heal up.
Eyes flash,
Nerf
Turns
is getting
is flash,
wiped.
Turns is almost gone. It's just Messiah and Turns up top, and they are so low, but this is where the 2-3 squads really start to come in. Nerf are still alive, but for how much longer? How can they survive when there are not just 2, but 3 squads paying attention to them?
Absolutely, but they may be getting help here, because Neo2 Wicked coming in, trying to throw down damage.
Portal's going to be enough. Tap Strafers get out, but it's just in time for Illuminate to come in and continue applying pressure to Nerf. They know what's going on. It's going to be all about landing these ordinances up top. I love the mobile respawn beacon. It'll give Nerf a little bit more cover, and actually, weirdly enough, with even more people coming in, maybe ultimately save their lives.
Yeah, we will see here as Nerf are just dropping tons of caustic traps up here that will signal that there are people up there, but it's going to be tough because those traps are just going to get tossed down, and there are more teams to contest with here.
Illuminate lose one on the way out. We have got so many squads, so let's not forget the tap strafers could come back in, but for the moment, it's going to be DSL who are trying to take the fight, losing one, but should still very much be able to get this res. There's so many squads in the area, you've got more than enough cover.
Yeah, this is just turning into a bit of a fiesta as there are just so many squads around. DSL will be able to get this Gibby back up and give him some space to heal back up. Everybody's just trying to fight to get into this train yard.
Who is pushing DSL? How is it Nerf? How have Nerf managed to not only survive, but be confident enough to drop from that high ground? DSL get knocked again, with Fatal going down this time. Left at Costco on the Gibby, crucially alive, is going to be able to help his team reset his turns. Got a lot of loot up top. Actually ends up being pretty comfortable himself. Nerf control this entire area off of a very, very strange course of events, and weirdly enough, tap strafers are also coming back.
Yeah, they are. I'm actually kind of surprised that they're coming back for this and not just kind of trying to get some better positioning. Tap strafers looking to try and get some KP here as Nerf are just holding this high ground.
Tap strafers did throw the ult excels into their Wraith as well, and while it's spotted by Nerf up on top, what it does do is give tap strafers a way to escape. I really like the move, but in this landslide tunnel, in a fight that is getting more and more chaotic, let us not forget that it's called the landslide tunnel for a reason. There are several teams that could easily push back here, third, fourth, fifth party this fight, so keep your eyes out on that as Nerf try and take their reset slowly. Let us not forget as well that they have the option of valking out if things ever get too difficult.
Absolutely. They have all the control they need. The only thing they do need to keep an eye on is ammo. You can see Turns is running out of the heavy ammo here for right now. As Illuminate is sticking around, there still is another team in that tunnel. This is just getting so hectic, so much back and forth. It is a war of attrition. And with the ring closing in again here, this is going to get even more spicy.
I was very, very surprised to see Illuminate sticking around, and now you definitely understand why as they portal out. Going to be them, fortunately, I think, escaping, although they are flesh, and one knock does go through. Juggonometry doesn't have the dome available just yet, having burned it previously, so they should be giving up a kill. The thing is that there's just so many people here that taking any fight feels like a death sentence, and Nerf end up picking up a kill as well. An eye for an eye. It is going to start making everybody blind soon enough. Blind or dead, as Illuminate end up picking up another kill on squads trying to move across the zip line. Now looking down at Nerf. They've got to leave this banner for later because Nerf will chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah, Illuminate wishing that it was just going blind because they are going down. And Nerf coming out as the victors here, although they still have tap strafers in this tunnel. I don't know if they're fully aware of that, but it is just going all over the place here as now Illuminate's going to be running one man down, and we'll see if they're able to get back to that banner or if that is going to be camped out for the time being.
It is really bizarre to see tap strafers playing this way. They know that Nerf is involved in another engagement, but they're not pushing out, which makes me wonder, what is their purpose here? Because as of right now, they're just letting
they can't get out either.
Walk up on them. Exactly. It is so problematic, the position that they're in right now, and it's because they've held it for so long more than anything.
Yeah, unorganized here, able to keep them stuck in this tunnel. The only real way out they're going to have is going to be using a Wraith portal to get the entire team out. But that's so telegraphed and so easy for a team to just take advantage of. It's not the best option. They're not out in the open. They don't have the ability to use the Valk ult just yet. They've got to get enough space out here to be able to safely use that. As tap strafers are just kind of holding this for now. I'm not sure where the ring is going to be closing here, but it is going to keep tap strafers out of the ring here if they stick around, I believe.
Tap strafers have found themselves, interestingly enough, also holding nothing. Nerf ended up valking out right to the side of them. It's why we saw them shooting desperately at the sky. But now, Nerf are on the high ground over by Landslide. They've moved from one position of I want to say power, even though they were sandwiched into yet another over by landslide. And the very fact that they were able to get away with that says so much. Now with the high ground, they should be able to pick up so many kills. They've got the ammunition, they've got the additional resources off of being able to pick up death boxes, pick up loot in that weird fight in the landslide tunnel. And now get to rain down fire from above on teams like Unorganized, who are doing them a favor as well by, again, gatekeeping tap strafers.
Yeah, so much of this game has been dictated by how Nerf is rotating around the map and how they're picking out where they can hang. So this is just really awesome to see, as now tap strafers, you can see, actually making real good use of the single fire on the R301 to just poke people out. I'm honestly, yeah, so Unorganized, the fact that they have gotten pushed by other teams, Nerf getting up on the top is going to give tap strafers a way out. But the question is, where do tap strafers go from there? Because, yeah, you might get out of the tunnel, but there's no real good place to hide right now.
Top 7 squads for right now, so not very long until we move ourselves into game 2, especially because there are only 20 players left. These are not all full squads. We have got at least one squad that's operating as a 2-man at the moment. With Unorganized, however, operating behind a replicator, I think they're in a position that a lot of teams would envy, because they've gotten quite a few shield bats to push them through in the mid game. What has already been a competition of who can siege for longer. Illuminate coming around the side, and a long delayed move seemed to have gotten their res off, and Nis has rejoined the squad, albeit only on white shields.
Yeah, so that is going to be a little rough for them, and I think Illuminate's going to be looking to just try and third party here. Oh, Kraber time.
Oh my god. All right. Let's go survive. The first time that we end up seeing them, it's already an instant knock onto Illuminate. Think of all the work that Illuminate put into getting here, and now it could just all be for nothing. But Noodles gets chunked out, has to go back to the dome, and they're actually getting third party by Trippin over by Countdown. Noodles find themselves in a very risky spot now with no dome, no safety, and a team potentially right at their backs.
Yeah, but they do have this little card hide in, so they should be okay for now. Whew. A little close. Ring is starting to close now, and you can just see how hectic. The game's already been hectic, but we talked about how wide open this area is and how rough it's going to be for any of these teams to move around.
Love the way that Trippin is playing it right now. They do lose one, but this is an easy res. With the distance that they've got between them and the squad in the cart, pop down that dome, you get that fast res. Zenabu gets to control any rotations onto you, firing out warning shots towards the other RVs, and it's Survive Noodles. They're actually the ones suffering right here. Still Kraber in hand. It's not going to be a headshot anytime soon. Oh, you know what? It was worth a try. It was worth quite literally a shot.
I respect it. You know, sometimes those hitboxes work out, sometimes they don't.
Fortunately, that time it didn't either, and now it's a push from Nerf. They know that it's just the one member left in here. They know that there's a Kraber with 3 shots still left in it as well, but Trippin are pushing up right here, and Nerf could be in trouble. It's spotted out and turns, pulls it on the high ground, turns into an instant knock, and Trippin, they are pouring into their death right now.
Yeah, this is such an aggressive portal here. I'm surprised the entire team's going in. Nerf now a little bit rough, but should still be okay as Turns is still healthy.
Illuminate thinking about third partying this. Remember, there's no caustic on Nerf, so their resets are actually very slow, but somehow they are getting away with it. Trippin throws some more damage in right now, but having already lost Zenabu, any push would be extraordinarily difficult, even with a crack like that from the 301.
Absolutely. Trippin are down 1, so they do need to play a little safely. But with the ring closing now very shortly, these teams are going to have to make moves, and it's going to be into more open area. This is not going to get any easier for anybody.
Trippin trying to take some chunks out of what we can only suspect to be Illuminate or Nerf. It's actually Nerf, as we get the chance to update right now, who have just slid right by Trippin, especially with Awan's up on the high ground. They've got so much data to work with. They're not giving up anything. Instead, they're finding flesh, and they're finding kills as Turns just shoos through with the Peacekeeper. He ends up helping out with another kill as Awan's lays in the fire from above, picking them up something else. Is translated to gaming in the lobby because I just heard a bow.
I knew that was what was going to come through. If you weren't going to say it, I was. I heard the bow whiz by, and that means we have tag available here as well. And I also just want to point out how interesting this is being played from Nerf, because they are basically just a two-man squad over on the side, and then you have the Valk up on top just laying down cover fire as this two-man squad runs around. I'm really surprised that teams haven't recognized that and tried to make a strong push into this two-man squad. But right now, Tag looking to maybe be that squad to push in.
They have got some of the best positioning so far, and look at the damage alone from Sea Escape right now. They have played this correctly. Tag have managed to get themselves that RV, a whole lot of safety, but now the question, as it always has been for Tag, is not whether they can make it to the mid-game, whether they can turn that mid-game into a late-game victory. Against the likes of Nerf, it is going to be extremely difficult, but they've got sights, they've got intel, they've got all of 6 seconds to make their play.
And Nerf just holding on to this high ground. We'll have to see how this ring starts closing here, because now Nerf may need to drop their spot. This Kraber only has 3 shots, so they need to make it count right now before they drop down. You don't want to be in a late game fight with a Kraber here when you're in a close range battle.
Look out, because if a member of Tag does get knocked, it's going to be very difficult for them to res and make it into the ring in time. Instead, Nerf are turning their attention towards other squads right underneath, and I love this caustic barrel they've put out right now, because it is about fishing people out from underneath this crane. Kraber still in hand. Turns has the opportunity to join his friends on the high ground, but it's unorganized. They're holding down the other side. 4 teams left. One of them will walk away with the 12-point victory.
Yeah, and now Unorganized getting some damage down on to Wounds there, who is able to get back and get some shields.
Nice knock. Illuminate are out. 3 squads left. Nerf moving the lobby around at their will. We've got Unorganized and Transatlantic Gaming on the low ground. Will they be forced to fight? Who will Nerf send it on? Are they going to wait for that third party? Only time will tell, as the zone is basically closing right on top of Nerf. And with that dome going down, they know that Transatlantic Gaming are going to be vulnerable as soon as it expires. I love the patience from Turns here. And I love the portal from Transatlantic to try and get them out of safety. It's just not going to be enough is the problem. As he drops down, Turns misses the shot with the Kraber, but hits the big one with the PK. Now turning his attention onto the rest of the lobby, has the death box to swap out that weaponry, but instead is faced with Transatlantic Gaming as they storm the high ground, taking out Messiah. Ones and Turns still up. Playbird is down, however, and let's not forget about Unorganized coming in for this third party. Nerf need to outlast. They need to make this gap worth their while, and Turns is doing it with no one's taking the sky. He finds almost enough time. He can do this. One more shot on the Mastiff, the reload, the wingman. It's enough, and Nerf from the high ground take the game.